Councilmember Nancy Navarro hosted the summit Ready for Tomorrow to have a profound conversation on education and workforce development in our county.
Oftentimes when we talk about the achievement gap or workforce development needs, we find ourselves talking about these issues during budget or maybe when there is a piece of legislation that has been proposed. And I feel like that really constrains our ability to truly explore the impact and the intersection between the academic achievement gap, workforce development, economic opportunities in this county or this country.
The summit gathered stakeholders from a wide variety of sectors. A lot of the participants are looking for more involvement from the business sector on education and workforce development.
So we saw the numbers today. There's going to be a huge need to fill in those jobs, correct? But if we don't support the youth and the children who are in the public school systems right now and who are about to graduate or go to college, we're not going to be able to fill those jobs. So my hope is all those companies that are in Montgomery County, are coming into Montgomery County, that they actually invest.
So I think we need to see more of that. It's really, you need employees, we can train them, and let's get together from the start so that we're not graduating people that then don't have jobs, don't have a clue about how to get connected to those high demand jobs.
I think that partnership with community organizations, with private businesses, with nonprofits is the way to go. We cannot do everything at a vacuum. We cannot do everything ourselves. I think we as a community have to come together to make sure our kids are ready for the future.
The most audacious panelist, Dr. Pollard, spoke about the need for more assertive leadership.
I think we've got too much going on and we can't keep our fingers on it, and we wonder why we're all fighting over crumbs. If we just put our crumbs together and actually say, why you got to have 10 different nonprofits for the same issue?
The real question for us as decision makers is, can we corral this talent in an organized fashion so that there are understandable objectives and clear paths to achieve those objectives?
Young professionals and youth leaders in the summit also share their opinions.
And so to have dialogue around the achievement gap, around workforce development, that is both honest about the problems that we face, but also forward-thinking and looking at the partnerships that we can develop, it's been really inspiring for me as someone who studied public policy and also who works in that area.
I think it's been really interesting hearing the vast differing opinions between council members and board members on methods of closing the achievement gap and creating educational equity.
One thing that I really appreciated was the focus on redefining what we mean when we say college education.
We need to broaden our definition of what it means to go to college. I'm not suggesting that going to college is that the route I took as a glorious political science English major with a minor in religious studies. I'm not suggesting that. I think there are multiple pathways.
And also the point that the president of the community college has highlighted in terms of the person who works in your car probably makes a lot more money than you do because cars have more computers in them than ever before, and that we need to reconceive blue collar versus white collar and think about what is the broad array of jobs that we offer. And that to me is really the key.
I know that there's a perception of what Montgomery County looks like, and that is in the Montgomery County where I grew up. The school system actually said, that it's a tale of two counties, because there's one part of the county that has a lot of the more immigrant population with a lot of the more higher poverty rates, and then the rest of the county that the country knows us for. So I'm glad that our leaders are addressing the fact that there are some disparities among our residents and that we have issues that we need to be dealing with.
It makes sense to me that we should be very targeted, very intentional to make sure that these children who tend to be the ones disproportionately affected by the achievement gap, that we need to make sure that they have every opportunity possible and every support to achieve at high levels. Because again, it's not my issue, it's not your issue, it's everybody's issue if we get to a point where our workforce, half of our workforce, is not ready for the jobs.